A manager working with one of the biggest banks in Australia cannot get more than 60 in speaking and listening despite trying multiple attempts. He has excellent fluency and perfect communication skills, which clearly means that good English does not necessarily mean high score in the PT exam. If you are keen to investigate how he finally managed to get a 90 score in both speaking and listening, watch this video right till the end. Hey everyone, this is Anurag here from Edutrainex PTE. I hope you all are doing great. Now this real case life scenario, what you learn from here is that even though you think that you have good English, does not actually translate into good scores in the PT exam. So what you think is that I can try multiple attempts and one time I'll get the score. But what this guy actually decided is to invest on his studies related to the PT exam. He joined our live classes, which is unlimited. He also got the app access where he got fabulous feedbacks and amazing teaching from our side, the guidance, and he was able to crack a perfect 90 in the PT speaking as well as listening. So I'm pretty sure that you are very excited to learn how he actually did it, what are the key problems, what problems he fixed, and how he managed to get a perfect 90 in both the modules. Before that, if you haven't liked and subscribed, do it now. And also if you're looking for YouTube membership where you get priority access to our videos, the latest questions, the latest spellings, the latest vocabulary collocations, the grammar, shortcuts, and much more strategy ebooks on each of the difficult topics of the PT exam like essay writing, email writing, summarize spoken text, summarize written text, and describe image. The link is there in the description. Please explore that. And if you're looking for live classes, just WhatsApp us or Telegram us. Let's not waste any more time and start understanding how this guy was actually confused. Why he is not able to get those scores despite thinking that he is very fluent and he really had very good communication skills because he was a senior manager in a reputed bank in Australia, but that did not come out as 90 score which he was expecting in the PT exam. So what he used to tell me that my English is better than most of the people who are getting 90 around me. So a lot of people who cannot speak properly but they are getting 90 and I am not able to get 90. So the main reasons for getting the low scores in the exam is that your English can be really strong. But what this is about is this is not an English problem. This is specific to the Pearson AI. And the AI has a specific approach, the specific steps, specific criteria, parameters that you need to satisfy. Actual issue is the same thing. So the approach and the strategy was not very appropriate to the specific exam. Every exam will have some kind of approach to it, some kind of structure to it. So this is exactly what he was missing from his responses. Let's explore further. So before he was getting 60s, he did not really understand the PT exam. PT's exam is less about your language ability, but more about how you perform in the test. And mostly it is AI scoring. So most of the responses that you give is going to be scored by AI. There is a human element as well, but it is actually happening once it detects certain patterns like keyword only sentences or template only sentences, only then it is referred for human review. So only for flagged cases, it is referred for human review, but otherwise AI is judging your responses and AI is a computer program. So what exactly does the AI need? Think of it like a singer. So a singer needs to hit a particular frequency or a particular tone in order to get the applause from the audience. Same way with the AI, we need to follow a specific pattern of the speech when we are attempting the questions in the PT exam, and that's it. That is what you need. So now let's dive in a little bit more in detail. So what he was doing earlier, what he was speaking just like what he did in the real life. So how you speak naturally is when you talk to a friend or talk to someone, then you say like, hey, today I went to a cafe and then I ordered coffee, but then I got something else. So what was wrong in it? If you think as a normal conversation, it is perfect. But what I actually did was I added, filler words like, I added some sounds just to buy time while I was thinking what I'm actually going to say. Now these things are perfect in real life, but these are not acceptable by the AI. The AI, Pearson AI, is actually treating these fillers and these ums and ahs as hesitations. Even I did a self-correction. Instead of tea, I said coffee. and then corrected that. So that is also counted as a mistake. That means you are not able to speak fluently, and this is what is judged. So do not think that natural speaking habits will get you a perfect exam score, but we need to follow a specific pattern. So what the AI evaluates in terms of the scoring parameters is fluency, pronunciation, and content. Now, content is dependent on different types of questions. We'll talk about it shortly. But fluency is the very number one criteria always. So fluency is the same thing what I told you now. No filler words, no hesitation, no fumbles, no corrections. Speed wise, you have to be appropriate. All those things factor into your fluency. The second thing is pronunciation. Once again, we'll explore it in a deeper manner, what exactly we need to sound clear in the exam. And then content wise also, I'll tell you. Now, before we move into the questions, let's talk about the correction of this type of problem, what we exactly need to do. So the correct strategy is that your fluency response should be very smooth. So the correct strategy, what we actually need to produce in our responses is a very smooth and continuous response. Now, once you see it graphically, then you will understand what I mean by a smooth and continuous response. And the second thing that you need to avoid is very long pauses or frequent breaks. So frequent, don't apply the brakes like in frequently when you're driving a car. Same way you will be honked by the cars behind you. Same thing, even fluent speech is respected, is applauded by the AI. Let me show you graphically what I mean. So this is the Edutrainex portal. Now you see every response that you record will be shown to you graphically. I'm just going to record one sentence and then see the graph. First time I'll do it in a wrong manner. 3 students are discussing to take early morning classes. Now you see over here, what you see the gaps between the graphs. Now you see it visually, then you understand it more clearly. See the gaps here, and the gap here. So unnecessarily I added gap, and those caused my fluency scores to go down. Whereas if I have to speak fluently, which is what I told you, smooth and continuous, this is what it will sound like and this is what it will look like. 3 speakers were discussing whether to take the campus classes or not. Now you see the graph is completely connected. Okay, there is no unnecessary gaps. These are just the gaps between the words that I spoke. Those are allowed. But the big gaps, the larger breaks, now going back to the slide, this is what I was talking about. Longer gaps, frequent breaks, those are not appreciated by the AI. The next thing we want to talk about is, this is what you understand for fluency. The next thing is pronunciation. So pronunciation wise, what we mean is clarity. Clarity is something that you pronounce the word properly and don't just eat half of the word or add something extra to the word. So I can demonstrate you some sounds like develop. Some people just say develop. So they eat some parts of the word. Or when you pronounce some words, you add some more sounds. So that does not sound very clear, like askada. So your kada part is not very appropriate. So this is what clear pronunciation means. Clarity, pronounce the word completely. Okay, don't eat or don't add any sound to it. And then one thing I told you before as well, you have to avoid focusing on the accent. You don't need to copy any native speaker's accent. Tum kitna lagan dega. I told the same sentence in the previous video related to speaking. You don't need to copy the British accent or American accent. Nothing is required. The next thing that I wanted to share with you is the golden rule. What exactly can get you the biggest scores that you can possibly imagine? The golden rule is always maintain a steady pace. Steady pace means steady speed. Around 150 words or more per minute. Minimal pauses. The pauses have to be less than 1 second, otherwise they are counted as breaks. This is what the break that I was talking about. So less than 1 second, even microsecond or nanosecond pause, microsecond pause you have to take in between the commas or the full stops. That's it. Not like 1 second gap. No, absolutely not. That's very big gap. And you always have to produce a connected speech. Exactly what you saw in the graph. A connected speech pattern, nothing is disintegrated, nothing is disconnected. So this is exactly what you need to do. Believe me, this is the golden rule. This always works in the exam. AI will always reward such a speech, which are predictable and which are smooth. So the natural human-like speaking will not be rewarded in the exam. It is not appreciated, and that's why people with excellent communication skills as well do not perform well in the exam. Same thing like this student. So always avoid too much intonations and over expressions. So whatever is your natural way of speaking, just the way I'm speaking, do not try to intonate. over intonate or over stress on any of the words, over expression. Oh, this is wonderful. You don't need to do that in the exam. Just clear. Read it clearly. Oh, this is wonderful. That's how you have to read. Keep it simple. This is what is going to win the exam for you. The next thing is you don't need to use any fancy vocabulary. Any complex vocabulary you do not need to use. So, advanced vocabulary, impressive language is something that people use in IELTS exam to impress the examiner, because there is a physical person that is sitting and judging you. But in this case, there is an AI which does not require any fancy words. Vocabulary part is not scored in the speaking part, and it is also risky because sometimes you can, trying to pronounce the difficult words, you can fumble, you can make mistakes, and you can try to correct yourself. Hesitations. A lot of hesitations will happen if you try to do that. Let me elaborate a little bit more what the correct strategy should be. So always keep it simple, clear English, the words that are easy to pronounce. I'll give you 2 examples. A simple way of saying is the lecture talked about different types of problems and scenarios. Now, a complicated way of saying it, the same thing will be the lecture elaborated on a diverse spectrum of multifaceted challenges and circumstances. Now, I am pretty sure many of you will make mistakes. Even I am not 100% confident with using such complex vocabulary when I am trying to be fluent. Okay, when you are trying to be fluent, always use simple words that are easy to pronounce, easy to speak out. So mainly, simplicity will get you to the higher score, and complexity will add more risk of losing marks. Okay, remember, it's different to the other exams. Even though you do have a lot of word power, but you do not need to show the Pearson exam. Just keep the content relevant to the topic, and then that's all. The third mistake, what people do is not improving and just practicing. So if you just practice without following any strategy or any structure, then it will not work for you in the exam. So what this guy also did was just practicing random questions. So every question does not have the same weightage, and every question is not, it's an integrated exam. So it is linked to different modules. Like speaking is heavily linked to your listening modules. If you do not perform well here, you will not get the marks in the listening module as well. Exactly what happened with this guy. So the correct way to do it is to understand which questions are highly important to you. So the most important questions that you need to focus on are repeat sentence. Describe image is the number 1, around 31% contribution to your speaking module. Repeat sentence, around 19% contribution to your speaking and to your listening. Then comes retell lecture, around 12% contribution to your speaking as well as to your listening. And then comes summarize group discussion, again around 19% contribution to your speaking and to your listening. So if you ask me, 3 of these important questions are directly linked to your listening module. Only one, describe image, is only for speaking, but these three modules, if you don't do it correctly or don't do it properly, also will affect your listening scores. They will go down. This is exactly what this guy was doing, just practicing random questions rather than focusing on the important ones. So read aloud, many people just practice. I know read aloud is still important for PT core exam, but not very important nowadays for PT academic. Only around 10% of the points you get for read aloud. That's it. And answer question, short question, you just go through the list of the questions that are there in the prediction questions. And even in the exam, if you know the answer, say it promptly. Otherwise, just say one keyword from whatever you heard in the question. But say it very, very quickly. Okay. And don't produce a sentence, just 1 to 2 words. That's it. That's enough for you to suffice whatever scores. Minute, very, very minute, very dummy question. Okay. Less than 1% contribution to your scores, but a little bit to your listening because you're listening and answering the question promptly. So this is where your mark composition is based on. This is where your marks are coming from. In order to do well in the questions that are related to your listening module, your listening should also be strong. And each of these questions like retell lecture, describe image, summarize group discussion, you need to produce a response that is a structured response. Structure means an introduction, a body and a conclusion. So always these 3 elements should be there in your response. If you miss out on any of the part, mostly people miss out on the conclusion part because they are speaking a lot, then that affects your score because that is not following the structure that is required by the AI. Remember, our aim is to satisfy all the criteria that are set forth by the Pearson AI. That's it. If you satisfy it, even if you speak mediocre level, average level, you can still get a 90 score, 100% guaranteed. People have done it with average speaking abilities. So the proven case result for this guy, what you saw on the screen right now, from 60s to 90s within 2 to 3 weeks, once he understood what exactly he needs to do, where exactly he needs to focus. So how exactly he did? Speaking style, he improved from a casual, natural style to the style that is required for the exam, which is more academic and without any hesitations, smooth and clear, and a continuous speech. Then he also removed some fancy words he was trying to add or complex vocabulary, focused on the important modules that I just highlighted, and then no intonations, no expressions, no emotions you need to show while speaking. Just keep it simple, keep it plain, produce a smooth and clear and continuous response. That's it. You will see the 90 score next time. So final action is, do not just keep on taking the test, keep on doing the practice questions blindly. Please sit down, take a minute, analyze before you attempt every next question. Okay. So I know to err is human, but to learn from the mistakes is also human. So this is what you need to do. You get demotivated when you just keep on trying and you do not improve. Take my advice, which is very important. Just sit down, go to a good AI that gives you a very decent score or analysis like our AI. So if I want to show you, even the ebooks that we have are pretty useful. So if you look at the feedback that this AI produces, it gives you every simple detail, every last detail about content, pronunciation, fluency, what things are missing, what things are great in your response. Everything is provided to you, even extended speaking part where you're producing that, what is required. So, or a human teacher can also guide you who is experienced. But don't keep on doing the questions blindly. Check where you have lost marks and then try to improve, adjust your strategy on the basis of that. Take the help of anyone, the teachers or the AIs which are actually guiding you, okay, which are actually pinpointing you rather than just giving you a score and you keep on trying every other techniques to see whether this AI is giving me the scores or not. Whereas when you go for the actual exam, you get a different score. Oh, this guy gave me 80 score, 90 score, but in the real exam, I still got 60. So do not trust any third-party AIs. Everyone is just trying to mimic the real AI, which is the Pearson AI. All you need to do is just follow the advice, improve on the areas that are highlighted by a teacher or by one of the good feedbacks producing AI like ours. You can register for free and try a few questions. If you like it, of course, you can register. No one is forcing you to do that. Your structure into, your responses into. Okay, so my final piece of core message or final piece of advice to you that PTE exam is not a test of your natural English speaking ability like we all do in real life, but it is actually a test of strategy plus your performance and plus the expectations from the AI. If you combine all these three together with guided help, then you are definitely bound to succeed. And if you're still struggling, we are just a message away. Just WhatsApp us or Telegram us for our live classes, where you also get access to the fabulous app that we have created for you. Very, very helpful. And if you're just looking for a little bit of helps, the ebooks, repeated questions, the most repeated spellings, the predictions, vocabulary collocations, and the strategy ebooks on the difficult questions in the PT exam, you can purchase them as well. They are little cost as compared to the live classes. So whatever help you need, you decide and you take the action. In the meantime, if you haven't watched the video that we published recently on the essay writing hacks, please do it right now. This will help you improve your essay writing a great deal. And keep watching Edutrainex, and I'll soon be back with another super important video on PT topics. See you soon.